Baja hates the French. Confirmed. No, I don't hate the French. I just don't like their language. Oh, my button's not working. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Nations Cup. We are here in Group C, as I need to restart IQ really quickly. Let me make sure that IQ actually fully shuts down. There it goes. It actually shut down. We are back into Nations Cup. We are here in our fourth best of three of the day. On the left-hand side, you have France, and on the right-hand side, you have Spain.
Smoke weed every day.
There we go. Our buttons are working again as we get into a rapid ban phase here for Infernal Shrines. If you are wondering how we got to Infernal Shrines, Spain won the coin flip, opting for first pick priority. They banned away they banned away Sky Temple and Braxis Holdout. Tomb of the Spider Queen and Dragonshire were banned up by France. We might end up doing one big tournament rather than a US tournament than an everybody tournament, since we're only sending one team at the end. Isn't the NA qualifier the second weekend in May? Isn't it the 13th and 14th is the NA qualifier? I need to make sure I write all this stuff down on my calendar so I don't miss any of these games. Alrighty. We're in map number 1, Infernal Shrines. As I had mentioned, this is the map choice of France, as a Hanzo Dahaka will be grabbed on the left-hand side. Blaze, Chromie, Rhaegar on the right. A really nice start for the side of Spain. I love their draft here. Good sort of single-target deletion. Poke from the far side of the walls on the objective areas. May 13th, 14th is the official qualifier dates. Yes, okay. I'm excited. I'm really glad to see that there's a bunch of teams trying to sign up to represent NA. We'll see who actually does it. We'll see who actually makes it. 30K is going to have to fight for that spot for sure. I know Epic Player was hanging out in chat a couple days ago and we were talking about it, and he was saying that I think a lot of teams were just like, well, we don't think we'll beat 30K, so there's no point signing up. But I'm glad there's teams that signed up. Like, why not? Like, even if you don't win against 30K, you can still play some Heroes of the Storm on a tournament stage and have some fun. Like, that's my biggest thing. Is the NA being coordinated? No, it's, yeah, NG. Thank you, Crush. Thank you, Crush. Yeah, NGS is, and I think it was announced like it was sometime this week, no? That NGS was running the NA portion. It was either it was sometime last week or early this week. I honestly can't remember because everything's blurring together at this point. I've done a literal week of Heroes of Storm casting, and my sleep schedule is just destroyed this week. Anti-Clan Association game off of 30K this past week. Oh yeah, that was the game when 30K was playing with their feet, right? Yeah, I remember hearing about that. 30K was like, yeah, we're gonna play with our feet for this match. We'll see how we do. Tried to take a page out of Lauber's book, but just not as good. Mal'Ganis and a Genji. I'm actually surprised we're seeing the Mal'Ganis. There's so many other tanks up and available that they're going to be leaning into Mal'Ganis. Last pick, Tracer? Nah, last pick, Mephisto. Okay. The Tyrael with Tracer is a really good synergy. I guess with Anduin being picked up, yeah, with Anduin being picked up, I guess that's kind of the signifier that they're not going Tracer, because Malfurion probably would have been a better synergy with the Tyrael Tracer combo. Either way, let's go ahead and swap to the casting screen. I am going to go ahead and start a prediction for all of you. Which team wins Infernal Shrines?
Hey, listen!
The prediction has begun. Get your gambles in. Just lost one team fight late game. That happens. That happens, absolutely. Alrighty, predictions open. Which team wins Infernal Shrines? We are in the 4th of 6 best of 3s today. We'll have Bulgaria versus Spain coming up next, and Czechia versus Bulgaria later on today. On the left-hand side, we are looking at the members of France. We have got Yasuo on the Hanzo, Banana to play the Anduin, Masquerade on the Tyrael, Dayquaza to play the Dahaka, and Nagram will be on the Mephisto. To the right-hand side, we're looking at Spain. We've got Pep on the Blaze. We've got Joanna on the Mal'Ganis, Drac on the Chromie, Nano on this Genji, and Exolium on the Rhaegar, I think is how you say their name. Either way, we're here, we're ready to go. Hopefully get your predictions in as to which team will win this. France drafting a lot more standard than we've seen throughout today so far. So either they don't know the Spain players, or maybe they're just here to say, you know what, we're going to shut down Spain. We're going to get this best 3 over with. We had fun with the previous one. Now we're putting on our big boy business pants, and we're going to play this and take a win as Mal'Ganis gets a Night Rush out with 189 HP. Fell Claws to give him more distance away. Yasu going into the target practice at level 1. You know me, chat. Going to talk all game about flawless technique. NA equals the greatest HOTS region. I'm sorry, I disagree with you. Korea. Korea all day, homie. Oh my god. Those good old days of Genji and Tempest. Oh! 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 I miss the global circuit we used to have. The Hawker Brush Talks in to help steal away the camp here in the bottom lane, or in the mid lane, as that will be grabbed quickly. Does he have enhanced agility? Yes, he does. So he can make his he can make a quick rotation back up to top. Koreans and their silly bloodlust. It's only silly because you just don't understand it. Spoken like a true NA player. I don't understand something. It must be bad. That actually used to be that actually was the conversation that I used to have with a lot of GM players. I used to have a few GM friends that I would watch HGC with, and they'd be like, dude, why don't they just pick Hammer here? Like, it's so good. And, like, nobody on NA would play Hammer, but, like, everyone in Korea and China would be playing Hammer, and it's just like, oh, I wonder why the best regions are picking such a great hero. It was like it was the weirdest thing too. Like there was a point in HGC where like Sylvanas was first pick, first ban material in like only the China region. Like only China was hot prioritizing Sylvanas. Like every other region was like, she's whatever. And then you get to LAN events, and then it's like, holy shit, why are they picking Sylvanas and destroying us? I'll never forget the day when it was Gen G during, I think it was Western Clash, and it was the round robin phase. And there was an interview with, I think it was Rich. And the interviewer was like, oh, so like, have we seen anything you've prepared for this? And then he was like, no. Just, you haven't seen, like, they were just drafting sort of meme compositions. And that was the Western Clash, I think, when they drafted Butcher in one of their games. And the interviewer was like, ooh, is this like some sort of secret tech? He's like, no, we haven't shown any drafts we prepared. We're just playing things that we think will win. Banana will go down, a double kill for the side of Spain. They actually have 3 kills in total right now. Nagram getting low, but is able to back off here as we do have a camp in mid lane, pushing in, favoring the side of France. Dahaka soaking up the top, Anduin dead for the next 5 seconds. Sylvanas player is the scariest player in the game. Yeah, it was like, oh man. Oh, I miss having like 7 days of HOTS constantly available. Chastise. Ooh, that's a good drag onto Chromie, I think it is. Yeah, Chromie got dragged by Dequaza, but can't find a kill right now. Chromie gonna try and throw some damage back, and alright, she's able to back off. Drac doing fine, tapping well. Though objective phase is going to be starting to be gaining a few skeletal defenders to the France side. Korea at Western Clash. Yeah, I don't remember. Maybe it was before BlizzCon. I don't remember. It was one of those qualifier events before one of the big events. Maybe it was right before BlizzCon, actually. I mean, they could be at the Western class. If you just keep going west, you'll eventually hit Korea, right? If I keep, you know, if I go west of the United States, I'll eventually make it to Germany. Is it smarter to go east to get there? Sure, but Punisher jumping over Yasu goes down. What is going on? Spain is just shutting down the start of this game here. What in the hell? Bottom lane fort falls. That's 6 kills over to the side of Spain. 0 for France. They're down a level, excuse me. Alrighty. That's honestly, this is very surprising from from what we saw earlier versus now. I mean, Spain did play pretty good up against Czechia. They did play pretty good up against them, so maybe this is the team that is going to be looking for first place out of their group. As a reminder, first and second of each group will be making into the second European qualifier. I believe it's either later this month or early in May. I can't remember exactly. Someone in chat might have the dates for that one. But the big thing to note is that if you get first place out of your group, you get, I believe, a better sort of seed or position for the later qualifier. Carrion Swarm and Ancestor Healing, a little overlap in those heroics. Similar cooldown, so it's going to be back and available at the same time. Arcane Punisher, second Punisher of the game. I didn't look at when the first one went down, but we're probably not too far off from the announcement of this next Punisher, as the Temporal Loop, X-Strike, and Bunker for Blaze are all up and available right now. We do have the Mal'Ganis finishing out the camp here, getting a Regeneration Globe as Dahaka soaks up the top lane, trying to close that 10 gap. Hanzo is going to go with the Dragon Hungers at level 7. I still doubt we see Flawless Technique, but you know what? We've got all the available options for it. Bit of a fight here in the rotation out of mid lane. Xulium probably dies. I don't see a world where they live. Going to actually rotate to the left-hand side to break away the enemy. And that will be the first kill for France. That has to be a nice little bolster in their mentals, as they lost so hard early on. Let's actually take a look at the difference in experience from those kills as well. Okay, so yeah, 6 kills has yielded 3,125 experience to the side of Spain, but 1 kill for France has got them 882. I know it's a small amount, but hey, late game kills really start to close that gap in that experience, that heroic experience department. So we're just waiting to see when we get the announcement of the Punisher. I feel like it should be very, very soon, though. Alright, so I'm just skimming chat as we are waiting for objective phasing and such to begin. There's your announcement, and we will see Blaze get a Jet Propulsion. Actually, we'll be able to see it on the mini-map. Blaze gets a Jet Propulsion on the top. Dahaka's got Brush Stalking available, so he can side soak, close that experience gap through minions, or at least as best they can. But I do want to point out, 13 talents here, less than half a level to go for the side of Spain, as they're actually going to soak up a little bit here in mid lane with the Genji. And he's just going to rotate it. He's going to let the minion wave do all the work for him. Stay mounted, make the rotation. There's a camp in top lane from both sides. Genji jumps in onto the Mephisto. Dahaka still soaking in the mid lane, trying to get that 13 talent here for their allies, as 13 should be achieved. First for the side of Spain through this top lane wave. Dahaka brush stalking in into a flank position potentially. I'm going to pull back the talents here so you can see them. Dequaz is scouted out by the Genji. Hanzo gets a Dragon's Arrow onto a few isolation onto the onto Genji, excuse me, as the Carrion Swarm heals up this Mal'Ganis quite a bit. He goes for the Night Rush, gets the sleep onto the Tyrael, as the Skull Missiles, the unyielding power for Mephisto, has been finished out. He's got the extra damage, he's got the extra Skull Missile as well, as we have 5 Skeletal Defenders favoring the side of Spain. 1 picked up by, I think, the Mephisto who jumped in there. Masquerade in within Eldruin's Might. The Fellclaws from Mal'Ganis don't get the stun that he's looking for. Still a quarter of the way through these Skeletal Defenders as the Jet Propulsion connects onto 2. That's going to be a Fellclaw onto a few as well. Hanzo will be the first one to go down in the engagement. Anduin's Light Bomb zones back Nano, who gets inside the bunker for some armor. Night Rush onto Dequaza, who's got some healing over time. The Leap of Faith saves him. The Sanctification as well. Genji jumps in again. He's got that spell armor when he jumps out, or with the cybernetic agility. That's an Ancestor healing just in time onto the Genji as well. Hanzo gonna respawn in 2 seconds. He's got the Dragon's Arrow in 3. Does he rip it across the map to find some sort of CC for his allies? Halfway plus through these skeletal defenders as the Mal'Ganis is gonna get pulled. He's dead though. 25 on his objective. We see the arrow go through the enemy team as 2 to 7 in the kills, and they want this objective phase. Will they be punished trying to greed for it? Genji swift striking through, trying to find the last few skeletal defenders. Dayquaza gets a drag onto Blaze. Isolation onto him as well. 1 skeletal defender's needed. Hanzo's done with his stacks, but the Arcane Punisher still goes over to the side. Nano, do you have any buttons to get out? No, he's dead. 3 deaths for the objective phase. Was it worth it to the side of Spain? We're going to find out as the game does progress here. Rhaegar going to chase out onto Hanzo here, maybe. Hanzo poking onto this Chromie, getting quite a bit of damage with those storm bows, as he does have that Dragon's Hunger, as well as the extra damage from his level 1 being finished out. The extra 100 damage after hitting every enemy hero 3 times. By the way, the Dragon Hunger is hitting an enemy hero with a Stormbow grants 5% spell power for 12 seconds, stacking up to 20%, so... I was mentioning it in a previous best of 3 about how strong it is when you go Q build to get that Dragon Hunger synergistically. Dahaka stalled out before he can get onto the camp to do any sort of harassment or even check. Time Trap going to be delaying that out. With the 4 to 7 kills, let's actually back it up to the hero experience. And as you can see, 4 to 7 in kills, that experience gap between heroic deaths is less than 200. Or heroic kills, experience gain from heroic kills. There we go. Mal'Ganis, Fellclaw's out of the bush. Gets the Night Rush onto Tyrael, slowing the rotation, allowing Blaze to back out of top. Pep doing fine. Druin's Might forward. And Tyrael gets some autos onto the Genji, just trading a little bit back and forth between the two of them. Next Punisher, Mortar Punisher. Should still be another minute or a minute to minute and a half. Durance Fade actually not connecting from Mephisto. Piercing from the Hanzo at level 16. Mephisto going full Skull Missile build, it's looking like. Genji clears out the top lane. 16 talents here now needing to be achieved by the side of Spain. Blaze checking the bush with the Twin Flames. Doesn't want to get caught out in his rotation down to the bottom lane as Hanzo checks the bush with a scatter and gets a nice little bounce around to get some vision for his allies. As we have 16 talent here for both sides. Mal'Ganis in the mid lane gets the Night Rush onto Mephisto. Here comes a Dahaka Brushtalk into the engagement as well. Gonna pull away the talents just because we have so much happening on the north and south side of our screens. Genji zoned away by the Hanzo as the arrow from Hanzo does connect onto Chromie. She will take a bit of damage, but it's actually the Tyrael who falls. Leap of Faith onto Dayquaza. Ancestor Healing will be utilized. Didn't see the target exactly, just heard the noise. Dahaka goes down the left-hand side. Carrion Swarm confirms the kill onto Anduin. Nagram trying to back away, but the mid lane fort will be taken down. Durance of Hate will go out from Nagram. Can they take down this Mal'Ganis? Absolutely they can. Nano, I think, was looking for a flank into the enemies in the back line, playing around this fort here, but actually Genji's gonna chase onto his brother. Yasuo will fall as Mephisto jumps out. A load Mephisto to defend. The mid lane fort will fall. Do they make a quick rotation to top to take this down as well? Yes. Maybe grab the camp afterwards? No, it's a little greedy. Hanzo dead for 30-something. Totem to tank some shots from this tower, and actually, that is just enough. Tyrael's in the bush, but this is seen. Adhoral Anomaly is the level 4 for the Chromie. Level 2, however you want to split that talent tier differences. But Adhoral Anomaly allows her to have 1, 2, 3 traps out. I do believe it increases the cooldown. You can check here. 3 traps and reduce its cooldown by 8 seconds, actually. Excuse me. Increase the charges and maximum active time. So my apologies. I had that backwards. All right, it's even talent tiers, 5 to 11 in kills. Blaze looks for a Jet Propulsion, but the Chastise stops that. We do have that final cut onto Nagram. Nano trying to find the last little bit of damage. Is it possible with the X-Strike? Gets some. Durance of Hate will spread onto a few. That's a great arrow from Hanzo. We have a Stasis from Chromie as the Sanctification from Tyrael will be utilized. Jet Propulsion in from the Blaze. It's a triple kill so very quickly to the side of France. What happened? What even happened in that moment? God dang, god dang! Sorry, I had to blow my nose. Top lane does have a camp pushing in. This will be the first fort to fall for the side of France. Even looking back at my delayed stream, I can't even figure it out. I can't even figure out how they got so much burst. I guess, you know, piercing arrow from Hanzo, Mephisto coming in with some fantastic damage as well. It was beautifully. Wow, I am blown away by how well that went. All right. Mortar Punisher bottom lane will take down the fort. Can they take down the keep here? Punisher's still very healthy. I don't believe the jump's been activated. Mal'Ganis gonna pull that jump, getting cleansed out by the Rhaegar. No purification from the Rhaegar at level 7. Level 20 almost here. Mephisto looking for that jump over the wall, playing from a safe distance. And actually, seems like they're not even gonna go for keep. They're gonna let the Punisher step up. Oh, wait, hold on. No, no, no. Yes, yes, yes. All right, so they only get the fort. They only get the fort on the side of France, backing off. 8-11, as I mentioned, in those kills. France with 8. Mid lane has a catapult arriving towards the keep front gate. This catapult dealing 532 damage into structures as this camp is invaded and taken away. I don't think that Spain wants to jump onto this, as they don't have their 20 talents here. We did see the Mimic for the Hanzo, or for the Hanzo. Could you imagine? We do have the Mimic for the Mephisto. We have got Contagion for Dahaka, Censure for the Anduin, Holy Arena for that Tyrael, and the Bullseye for Hanzo as Dahaka steps in. He was seen as, I think he actually walked through the time trap. But while they have the 20 talent here, while the waves are crashing into the side of Spain. Whoa, no, Dahaka getting chunked right there. Almost getting bursted as Genji actually jumps in the bush. He'll get some poke onto Dahaka. Doesn't land the drag. Chromie with the stuck in a loop level 20. Bullseye onto the Rhaegar. There's a follow-up. The Ancestor healing. Oh, man. Light Bomb, Ancestral, like, just every R button pressed on the side of France, but they confirm the Rhaegar kill. They confirm the mid lane fort. The enemy team now has their 20 talents here. We actually have the Seeker Swarm for the Mal'Ganis. Chromie with 90 HP on the right-hand side of our screen. Ancestor healing Farseer's Blessing is available for Rhaegar, but he's dead for the next 32. Got Living Weapon for the Genji and the Fortified Bunker for the Blaze. Once again, checking Catapult stats. 616 damage into structures, as I do believe Dahaka did get the Hearth out, so this won't be much damage on the keep front gate. Actually going to be losing maybe the tower here. And Dahaka actually brush talks back into the team fight. Masquerade's so very low. Leap of Faith saves Masquerade. Seeker Swarm will connect onto him. Genji tries to get the last little bit of damage. Genji going in, but did he play a little too aggressive? Leap of Faith onto Dahaka as the blind is a bat. Mal'Ganis is going to Fell Claws to the right and get out of this engagement. Arcane Punisher should be very, very soon. So, getting full on mana and HP on both sides, as we have got everything up and available pretty much for heroics. We can see at the top of our screen. I'm going to cycle through those late game numbers once again. Look at the damage, healing, and experience. This is a very close game. 9-11 in our kills, favoring the side of Spain. Will Spain take a map off of France? Will France run it back and be able to continue to be dominant? We're going to find out here in just a moment as we get a full zoom out, seeing everything. Look at Blaze on the left-hand side. Blaze is in a flank position. Pep looking for that jump in. Mephisto will shit Mephisto forward. Where's the jet propulsion? There it is. Mephisto's going to be the target in the backline. The Ancestor healing will not come through in time. The Leap of Faith will save Nagram. Genji tries to come in with the extract. The Living Weapon's not enough to deflect. Genji tries to get the kill into Nagram, but it's just so much thirst. Such a thirsty play and no quench on it. Oh, Blaze with the jet propulsion slows down the enemy. Stuck in a loop from Chromie. Blaze, Pep. Pep is going to be cooked. Oh, man. Genji, he wanted that kill so bad onto Mephisto. Do we call it tunnel vision? I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure if you call that tunnel vision or not. Though, this is just a camp for bottom. Okay, I was like, are they backdooring or something? No, they're just going to grab a camp for some bottom lane pressure. 754 from one of the catapults, by the way, into structures. Top lane, Fallen Shaman shall confirm the fort up here. We've got 32 seconds on the Blaze. He's the longest death timer for the allies on Spain's side. Genji up in 3. So Mal'Ganis is going to try and bait the Punisher, and I think Chromie is looking to use a time trap to be able to deny some of that damage. But Mal'Ganis taps the well, and here comes the French team to try and end the game. Seeker Swarm, level 20 for Mal'Ganis. Sanctification, though, from Tyrael mitigates any of that sleep value onto anyone inside of it. Of course, that's going to be a Dragon's Arrow from Hanzo connecting into Chromie. She's going to try and throw some damage into the backline as best as possible. Extract from Genji was used, and Genji is the first one to go down in this engagement. What was looking like such a promising game for the side of Spain is falling apart here. 21 minutes. I do think with Rhaegar falling, this is going to be enough damage onto core. Punisher's still at 44%. Mal'Ganis, or excuse me, the Blaze on left-hand side getting zoned back by Masquerade. Mal'Ganis trying to make some plays over here on the left side of the core with some night rushing. This is going to be Pep getting chased by Masquerade, but no kill will be had. Oh, dude, they almost got the bottom lane keep. Nah, GG, well played. Over to the side of France, they turn things around at the most critical of moments. I actually thought Spain was going to take that. I really did. No caster bias. It's just looking at how the game started, it seems strong for Spain. But it all fell apart in the end. It all went down. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, into the Nations Cup. Sorry for that delay. I had to run to the bathroom, and it took a little bit of time to make my cup of tea. But we are here. We are ready to go. Map number 2 in our 4th best of 3 of the day. Yes. It's very much playable without spending money. That is true. That is very, very true. Yes. Tracks the device. I scan the same QR code with my computer and both devices logged into the same account. Yeah, I do think it. I actually think it is device. I think it's device bound. Like, I think it's like, cause I logged into a different Gmail account. I uninstalled, reinstalled Snap, logged into a different Gmail account, and then I tried to do all the stuff and it didn't count any of it. Sorry, I have to blow my nose. I'm so sorry, Chad. I am so sorry. Enjoy the draft while I take a second here to be gross off stream. Okay, I am back. And there we are. All right, sorry about that. Oh, man, early morning streams are rough. So let's talk about what is available, what isn't available. Let's actually talk about what's not available, because that's probably easier of a conversation. While we get into our second ban phase for Towers of Doom, map number 2. As a reminder, Hanzo, Dahaka, Anduin, Tyrael, Mephisto, Blaze, Chromie, Rhaegar, Mal'Ganis, Genji are all unavailable as they were played in the previous map. That is the draft style of Nations Cup. So we will see a Yrel, Malfurion for France on the left-hand side, Hogger, Garrosh, and Sylvanas to the side of Spain. Really good drafts from both sides to start out here. Though I'm curious what France is going to be going into with this early on Yrel, Malfurion. Are they going to be looking for a later game Tracer as well? There's the Medivh. They get the Stitches is banned away, but they still go for Medivh immediately. And I do like the Medivh because you've got the displacement from Garrosh, so portals to deny that will be strong. How else do they want to play this, though, on the side of France? Still need a strong tank. Like a Nubarak is actually up and available. Arthas... Joanna's up and available. I was gonna say Diablo as well is up and available if they want to go into late line Seal Apocalypse, so good synergies right there. But this is going to be some sort of hyper carry on the side of France. Ooh, maybe we get like the Zul Jin hyper carry. I would love to see a Zul Jin hyper carry. We don't get it very often, but I do think it could work out pretty good for the side of France. We'll see what the hyper carry is going to be for France as we get this last 2 picks into a Whitemane and Tychus.
It's about
Spain's got a terrifying draft, I'll be honest, chat. Spain's got a really scary draft here, and I like it. I'm here for it. Sorry. Looks like the tea bag broke, so I'm going to be drinking some tea leaves, oh well. Last pick, what are we getting for the hyper carry? I personally I love a Zul'jin hyper carry. I think it'd be fun. Cassia hyper carry. Alrighty. Alright, okay. Alright, well, that is going to be what it will be as we get into the cast. So, let's go ahead and we'll wait here a few moments before we write up the prediction. I gotta be honest though, chat. That first map, that was the closest we've seen France struggle. Like, that was the closest to any sort of struggle we got on the French side. So, let's go ahead and, you know the dealio.
Hey, listen.
The gamble has begun. Which team will win Towers of Doom? Will we see a map number 3? Is it possible? Is it plausible? Will it happen? Get your gambles in, ladies and gentlemen. We'll introduce the teams in just a second here for map number 2. Towers of Doom, 4th best of 3 of the day. We have got Bulgaria versus Spain coming up next, and Czechia versus Bulgaria later on today. That'll be the last best of 3 of the day. I guess they want Blind versus Tychus. Yeah, that's not a bad idea whatsoever. On the left-hand side, we have got France. We have got Masquerade on the Diablo, Banana to play the Malfurion, Nagram on the Cassia, Yasu to play the Medivh, and Aquaz on the Urel. To the right-hand side, we got Spain looking to take us to a map number 3, and it does feel like they can do it. Exilium on this Whitemane. God, I had to remember her name. Drac on the Sylvanas, Joanna on the Garrosh. We have got Pep on the Hogger and Nano to play the Tychus. You can see the level 1s. You've still got about 20 seconds on the gamble when you hear me talk about this. Get your predictions in, as if there's a level 1, maybe Tychus press the advantage is going to be a cue for you to vote for them. Or maybe the Impale for Cassia, because those are not the most normal talents at level 1. Typically, Tychus goes Grenade. I mean, extended range is not the craziest thing. It's just not that popular of a pick. That should be a dead Masquerade, unless he gets the portal out just in time with 293 HP. I do want to talk about the level 1 for Cassia. We don't see this one very often. It's usually Charge Strikes or Thunder Stroke. But Impale, increase Fend cast range and area of effect by 25%. It deals an additional 50% damage to enemies below 50% health. So we'll see how Nagram plays this as Tychus is chilling in the mid. We've got Hogger in top lane up against the Urel. Quick rotation into mid. Tychus will be scouted out. Masquerade, Shadow Charge, Overpower Shadow Charge. Yasu has 5 stacks currently on this Medivh, and I don't think they lose much, if any, experience in the mid lane. Camps on the left and the right to be traded out as Masquerade will enter into the bush. Gonna actually check it first with a Fire Stomp. Cassia finishing up the camp on the left-hand side. Excuse me, on the left-hand side. Toss onto Malfurion. Portal set up by Yasu. Little Shadow Charge action onto the Garrosh as the camps are going to be traded. They'll work their way into bottom lane. Cassia chasing onto Nano with the overkill active, but most of that was mitigated by the blinds as chat had so smartly, so wisely pointed out. More overkill from the Tychus trying to spray and pray into the minion wave. Though I do think neither Sapper should get forced in, both of them being cleared out. One Sapper actually on the side of Spain is fairly healthy, but that'll be cleared out in the lane here. No charge from those available as we do get Our first objective phase announced here in 15 seconds. It is going to be top, left, and right. That's always the standard. This is where it's randomized. It can either be in the center of the map or in the bottom. Malfurion, excuse me, will be hearthing out and will be getting full mana really quickly. Diablo getting a push onto Nano here. Cassia with the fend onto the blinded Tychus. Cassia still chasing in. That's a very low Nagram, and that might be a kill. Haunting way forward, indeed it is. First blood goes over to the side of Spain. Masquerade gets a shadow charge onto the Sylvanas. No kill from Tychus into him. Oh, stop. No, I won't. I'm going to keep rocking. I'm going to keep rolling. I'm going to keep complimenting chat. Portal from Medivh. The zoning is available. Medivh makes it through the portal. I think he has Raven Familiar at level 4 as well. Yes, he does. That's that blue talent. And we will see 4 into each core. 36 to 36 in core HP for the time being. We got some solo laners on the north side of this objective area. Just below that, the rest of the teams are kind of sitting around. Not sitting around, but just positioning here. Medivh, by the way, 21 stacks currently. A lot of damage onto the Garrosh, but he's got that physical and spell armor from his trait. Nano being chased around by Nagram. Whitemane with some Giggle Beam action. The Garrosh throws Medivh, I think, into the Diablo for delay on the objective area. I keep zooming out here just because I want to see what's going down on the bottom of the lane. And Cassia turns around onto the Tychus. Bit of damage here and there. Yrel with a massive Righteous Hammer. Pep does not get the channel in time. Still, though, Medivh picking up stacks. 25 currently, 26 actually. As Yrel jumps over the wall, gets a Righteous Hammer into the wall. That's going to be a fantastic kill into Whitemane. And with that, I do believe this will be first objective completed by the side of France. And they will get the total of 8 shots into the Gravekeeper's core. Are we on max zoom? No, we're not. Okay, there we go. Sapper Camp's up and available for the bottom lane. Dequaza and Pep go back into their double soak rotations. We're going to take a look at bottom lane because that's where all the fun is being had. We will have Tychus going into the rhythm at level 4. He's got a 35 stacks currently. I believe the baseline timer's 3 seconds, no? Baseline timer's 3 seconds, and press the advantage will be adding. So it's at 4.05. About 4 seconds. Let's round here for the simple caster math. 4 seconds, 1 additional second of channel time. Or I guess duration. Garrosh is trying to back out of this while the rest of the team works on a camp. Nano's going to be the target of Diablo. We got some displacement here and there. Cassia comes in with a fend, and Cassia will get the kill onto the Tychus. That is Garrosh to fall as well. Staggering blow into Cassia as Nagram is low here, tanking tower shots. Sylvanas finds that kill. Camp to be cleared out. I think the vast majority of the camp was cleared out before it even got into lane here. Yes, it did. And on the opposing side, Masquerade and friends have got their own Sapper Camp to shove in through bottom lane. Masquerade also finishing out his souls. 1, 2. Oh, Black Arrow from Sylvanas actually denies the other Sapper charge. Nice. Singular altar in the center of the map. 10 talent here. Should be here first for the side of France. Unless they make a massive misstep and they lose a player. Garrosh gets a toss onto Yrel. Diablo going in for the shadow charge onto Nano. Righteous Hammer from Yrel. Medivh, by the way, is done with stacks, so it's time for him to play super aggressive. Nano trying to sidestep some of the damage. The blind will still be active onto him as you see that glimmer a little bit. Whitemane with some heals there, here and there. Sorry, not that glimmer. That's a different. That's the Whitemane glimmer. there's like a little visual thing for the blinds from the Cassia. And I think we still saw it active. Leyline Seal from Medivh, Apocalypse from the Diablo. And that's pretty much all it does right there. Hogger does have a camp in the top lane, but let's take a peek back into the mid because that's where the real fight does break out. 10s on both sides. Tychus is holding his level 10. Are we going Draken Laser Drill for the zoning and sustained damage potential? I mean, Commandeer Odin is just such a strong heroic through and through. Dragon Laser Drill could be the pick. Also, keep in mind, Cassia did go into Valkyrie. She's going to be going fishing for some enemy heroes. Toss over the wall into Yrel. She has a portal. She has an Avenging Wrath, and she is out of there. Sylvanas with the sustained chase here, potentially. Blind onto her. Shadow Charge from Diablo, and I think Nano's dead. Commandeer Odin is the pickup. He tries to, yeah, nice utilization to play against the sidewall right there. Nice try to kind of hug the sidewall so that the Valkyrie doesn't pull you back, but he was dead to rights in that bottom lane. Good rotation out from France, and 36 to 28 in core HP. Next objective phase is going to be center and bottom of the map. Stack's done. Time to feed. Indeed, indeed, indeed. I do want to point out that the Hogger level 7, the Brute Force, 66 stacks already on that one. And that is hitting enemy heroes with Staggering Blow permanently increases the basic attack damage by 2. And then I believe if they hit terrain, you get the additional 8. So you can get some rapid stacking if you do get those staggering blows into the wall. And bottom lane, Leyline Seal. Apocalypse from the Diablo timed out very well. Yrel does get her Scarlet Aegis. Here comes Hogger with some sort of flank. He's got the Shockwave, but it's on a 10-second cooldown from the Diablo. Whitemane will fall first in the engagement. Yrel getting chunked by the Tychus. Silence from Malfurion as Sylvanas is dove onto. She goes down. Staggering blows from Pep are not enough. Ardent Defender from Yrel. She's tanking tower shots, getting some extra healing as Hogger gets a bounce out, and this shall be a double objective phase to the side of France. But will they take down the bell tower first? Maybe. No, they're not going to. Okay. Cassie is working on a camp. Masquerade is waiting. No, I think he's going to go channel. Or he's going to go get well. Malfurion gets the channel in the lower lane. We get the mid by Nagram. 8 shots will fall into the core of Spain. And the bottom lane bell tower may be converted with these 3 sappers.
Like all the others.
36 to 20 in core HP. Spain gonna be able to lock down these sappers before they rush in with the Black Arrows of Sylvanas. Toss on to Masquerade, but the protection, the Warlord's challenge on to Medivh and the Cassie as the Leyline Seal will be used. Apocalypse up in 6 seconds. Portal from Medivh does get Diablo out, and Cassia goes fishing for an enemy, doesn't find it. Yrel jumps in with the Avenging Wrath. She's looking for that angle with the Righteous Hammer to bop someone into the allies, but can't find the angle that they need. So that'll just be displacement. We do have a DC on the Garrosh, so let's go ahead and pull out of the game. We'll wait for that player to reconnect. And until then, we'll hang out here. How y'all doing? Hope you're all having a great day. Thanks for checking out the games. If you're having a good time and you're new to the channel, hope you at least hit the follow button. If you would like to support the stream further, it's always super duper appreciated. Looks like we have some readies out from the players, so I can stop spieling for Prime subs. Did you? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No spiel for primes because it looks like we're about to get right back into the game. The readies are there. The cast is on. Referee has restarted the game. Garrosh is back into the mix, and this is Cassia Malfurion on the left-hand side. Diablo Hearth's out for full HP as he was super low for a little bit there. Hogger with a bounce through the top lane to clear things out. Yrel missing a little experience, but it's not that big of a deal. Hogger missing a touch in mid lane as Medivh continues to scout out this Garrosh who was looking for, just like, oh, I'm going to step in the bush and you won't know where I am. And Medivh's like, no, I'm still floating around you. Yasuo's got the vision, and here comes Diablo onto the Garrosh, though. Nano is going to activate that minigun and start getting some decent damage. 100 stacks on the minigun in the rhythm. We'll check on the extra duration later on. Garrosh so very low on the side of Spain. Valkyrie from Cassia, the Scarlet Aegis. How is Garrosh alive? I don't even know. Apocalypse from Masquerade will be utilized, and that's Whitemane to go down. Sylvanas to be the next. Bottom lane bell tower transferred in favor for the side of France as Garrosh mid groundbreaker gets the Indomitable. He will go down, and this is going to be Tychus to fall as well. Hogger forced out of bottom lane, but this is 10 shots into the enemy core. Spiel for you?
Team kill!
Well, if you subscribe to my stream, I can pay my bills. If you subscribe here at twitch.tv/Bahamut Gaming, I can pay my bills and be able to continue streaming full-time for you all.
This realm and mine alone.
Oof. Yeah, streaming is, it is a little difficult. All right, France continues to steer this map in their favor, as they have 36 to 10 in core HP, a solid 3-level lead, 13 to 2 in kills, and sappers may be fed in through bottom lane. Boss time, you know, Susborn, I was kind of feeling like it might be. I thought they might go for it. I know it's not game ending, but hey, they had some kills, they had the available time. But bottom lane will be the priority instead. Tychus will have the overkill on this. Will one sapper go over the wall? Absolutely not. Sylvanas Black Arrows denies any of that value. Triple Ultraface coming up next. The members of France only need 2 with the current hold on bell towers. If they lose control of bottom, they'll need all 3. Oof about the fight? I assume so, yeah. I assumed so. Sylvanas is working her way into top lane. Dequaza might be the target, but no, actually, she's going to grab a sapper camp for top lane. Okay. All right, triple ultra phase as Diablo makes his way into top lane onto this Hogger. Shockwave to buy a window, and Hogger's dead. Sylvanas still working on the camp just north of all of this. Garrosh in the bush. Tychus 131 stacks. He's actually got an insane amount of duration increase. Yeah, he's got like 7.5 seconds of minigun time here. Yasuo getting really low here. Sylvanas wants the kill, but he drops the leyline seal. Birds up, and Medivh's out of here. Cassia trying to get a kill onto someone. Tychus actually is the one to go down by Diablo's hand. Sappers and bottom lane are still walking their way in. That's Sylvanas to fall. Diablo gets a shadow charge onto Garrosh. He will go down as well. Yrel already rotating down to bottom lane. And ladies and gentlemen, I do believe with the triple kill had here, with the Garrosh, yeah. Sappers make it over. Hogger's back in. And instead of channeling, they're just going to stand around doing nothing. I love it.
Doom to the Gravekeeper.
Oh, God. The game's over, and France will take it. They have the higher score overall, making their way into the Phase 2 of the European qualifiers. Oops, wrong button. All right, so France confirms first place in Group C.